Last week, we talked about background, design, and eco-friendly aspect. I'll review these three issues briefly. First, background. Developer of the shot is Ivan Seller. He had a vision to create a mix of uses, vertical city, which includes office, restaurant, hotel, apartment. For his vision, Ivan Seller chose Renzo Piano, master of high-tech architecture, as architect of the shard. Renzo Piano designed many famous buildings such as Pompidou Center, Kansai Airport, California Academy of Science. In 2002, design of the shard is finalized as a 310-meter tower. Second, design of the shard. When designing the shard, Renzo Piano inspired by the mast of tall ships and a painting view of the Thames near Westminster, painted by Canaletto. In that sense, the shape of the shard became shard of the glass. Renzo Piano wanted to emphasize the transparency of the building. The shard has 11,000 glass panels and 56,000 square meters of facade. But the transparency of the shard caused an energy problem. And this connects to the third issue, eco-friendly. The glass panel facade of the shard makes the building like a greenhouse. For the sustainability of the building, they have to reduce solar radiation. Renzo Piano solved the radiation problem of glass by a double skin facade system and triple glazed glass panels. Extra clear low iron glass was used due to highly transparent and excellent energy efficient glass. And also, the automatic blind system protects the shard from sunlight. For the energy efficiency, the shard has its own CHP, combined heat and power plant. For reducing CO2 reduction, constructors use GGBS instead of Portland cement. Nearly 800 tons of carbon reduced by using GGBS. To understand our construction study easily, we'll explain about our step-by-step construction study plan. We basically divided the construction part in vertical from bottom to top: foundation, core, steel framework, concrete work, and spire. For this week, we will talk about constructional constraint, top-down construction, and foundation of the shard. First issue is constructional constraint. Before starting the foundation of the shard, we have to know about what are the constructional constraints of the shard to fully understand how their construction overcome them. We divided the constructional constraint of the shard in three parts: time, geographical, and urban prospect. The shard had to be constructed until 2012 London Olympic for living as the mark of the city. But the shard was in a financial crisis due to 2008 international financial crisis. Therefore, the shard construction started at 2009. It meant that they had to construct the shard at least in 3 years. To talk about geographical constraint of the shard, we have to know about London clay layer. The presence of a thick layer of London clay underneath London made a trouble with constructing high-rise building. London clay has soft moisture property which can't support enough load of the building. Also, London clay is highly susceptible to volumetric changes depending upon its moisture content, which can occur many problems like structure, movement, and fracture of the building. Near the shot, there are London Bridge Station, London Bridge Street, and many other buildings. London Bridge Station has the first largest number of entries. It was inconvenient to transport construction materials. Also, for convenience of workers who use station, the shard should speed up construction. And presence of many neighbor building and infrastructure made the shard to consider about careful basement construction to prevent subsidence of other buildings. Near the shard, a London Bridge Station, which has shallow foundation, can easily affected by soil movements. Compared to deep foundation, which connects with bedrock, shallow foundation is easily handled by movement of lower soil. Nearly 5 meters next to the shard, there are Jubilee line tube and escalator tunnel. It makes the shard to simulate finite element analysis when they construct foundation. There is a cast iron water main too. The shard construction team had to overcome all these constraints, and here is the constraint method they used. The top-down construction. The concept of the top-down construction is construct above floor, below floor simultaneously. There are 4 steps with top-down construction. The first step is the construction of the second pile wall along with plunge piles and columns. The second pile wall prevents movement of soil and cut off the vein of the groundwater. Not only it gives minimal vibration, low noise levels, and the flexibility to fit complex site boundaries, and also it helps the building to avoid any risk of construction induced settlements to neighboring structures. So, let's look at the shard pile walls. It consists of primary piles and secondary piles. Primary piles form a cut-off to the groundwater in the London clay, and secondary piles have 53 depth bearing in Tannet sands, which have more strength and safety comparing with the London clay. Next, holes for the pile construction are needed. Rotary bored piling method is used to dig these holes, which gives minimal ground disturbance. The processes are drilling, casing, and steel reinforcement insertion, and concrete pouring. Before concrete is hardened, the plunge column is inserted in top-down construction. Plunge column is launching structures before the basement is excavated. It serves as frame of the core structure and also used to support the basement floor slabs, which prove the excavation size in the permanent condition. Second step is constructing the ground floor slab, and excavation begins down to level 2 of the basement. This floor slab serves as a working place to progress the construction. Third step is the beginning of the constructing both ground and basement level. Above the plunge column, core construction is in process and extra excavation is in process below basement level. Step-by-step excavation and constructing both ground and basement floors, its characteristic shows much more faster speed compared with the traditional bottom-up construction. In fact, they constructed the shard in 35 months from 2009 March to 2011 December. As the core construction continues, the left foundation at basement level 3 and piles on the left, which serve as the foundation of the building, are installed. This is the process of the top-down construction, which construct both ground and basement level. Core, where about the left, will be explained at next week, and the more detail below the left foundation will be explained in next slides. The left end piles supporting the left served as the foundation of the shared building. Left foundation not only distributes the load of the building to each piles evenly, but also makes various reactions between left, soil, and piles. Therefore, the stability of the building can be reinforced. In the shared construction, the left below the core has 3 meter thickness and 1.5 meter thickness elsewhere. And the main bearing piles supporting the left have 1800 mm diameter, elsewhere 1500 mm, which is similar to secondary piles. This optimized left end pile minimized amount of excavation and material used. Left concrete volume is about 50 meter, 60 meter, 3 meter, which recorded the largest continuous construction of concrete at that time. As structure's volume and cracks from drying shrinkage are in proportion, the shared left concrete designed it for no early temperature cracks without cooling. So, they use GGBS, which has low maximum temperature compared with normal concrete. As this mix doesn't attain full strength until 56 days, compared to normal concrete, which get enough strength in 28 days. The ready mix was further modified to make sure that enough strength was able at 14 days for work to proceed core construction. For the equal hardening of the concrete, they had to pouring concrete continuous. For this huge left concrete scale, the logistic problem becomes important. 4 pumps, 44 wagons at peak were used, and 36-hour continuous pouring was done, which amount of daily use to general building. During this, 700 of concrete mixer was used. Next week, we'll introduce about core and steel framework in 4th to 39th floor in the shard. Thank you. We are Team 3, the shard.